Hi, or the Vandeventer Place fan. I have do some research to try to find out the location of each mansion that had been demolished many years ago in the 50s, and the site of the old Vandeventer Place private place is now John Cochran Veteran Hospital and juvenile detention home in St. Louis, Missouri. So, for those who don't know what I'm talking about here, in this video probably not for you, but for people who interested in the old Vandeventer Place mansions and in the city of St. Louis, Missouri, and I'm interested in in the history of this place for many years, and now that COVID-19 lockdown, that I have nothing to do, so I do some research and have gather some of the information that I can get. Okay, and of course it's not complete and it's not 100% accurate, but at least it's close to the what it was. Okay, so what we have here is the the rough map of the old Vandeventer Place that now the John Cochran occupy the site. Okay, this half is a veteran hospital, and on the western half is a juvenile detention center. So what we have here, the Vandeventer Place is laid out with the park strip in the middle, just like Westmoreland and Portland Place nearby. Okay, so on the east side, it's flanked by Grand Avenue. Okay, and in the middle, it was cut in the middle by Spring Avenue. And on the west side, it's by the Vandeventer Avenue. Okay, it that would be the north. Okay, north. This is North Grand, north that way. So on the eastern half, it consists of about 47 mansion. I'm pretty sure it's accurate because from the old photograph, and I can see that, and information on that, I can see that on the corner of Spring and the street itself, this particular mansion was sitting there, which is a 47 is a George Barnard mansion, and on the south side is the 46, which is Joseph Chapman. Okay, and of course on the east side of the Vandeventer Place start from being number 5 Napoleon Mulliken mansion, is the first mansion ever built there, and the second mansion would be Charles Peck mansion at number 7 on the corner of Grand, and the third mansion is of course Samuel Cole, being number 11. And you can see that I left blank here because I cannot find any information on it, so that wait for the future research then. Okay, please bear with me there, and we can on particular number 17 mansion, I'm not sure is a John Scudder mansion or Watson Farr mansion. There's a contradiction on the information, so gotta be one of these guys. Okay, on the blue dot here is denote the mega mansion, the big big home, which is or significant architecture, which is John Lionberger House, which is Richardsonian Romanesque architecture that we can see from some picture that I have here. Okay, where is it? You can see that I have do some research on Missouri Historical Society website, and this is number 27, John Lionberger Mansion. Okay, with signature Lion Richardsonian Romanesque everywhere. So considered to be the finest of his work, one of the finest. And this porch is still around now, but at one of the mansion in Portland Place. I mean the Westmoreland Place nearby. Okay, and let's see what we have next on number 26. Edward Mallinckrodt. Edward Mallinckrodt Mansion. This gentleman is a very, very significant figure in St. Louis. I forgot what he did, but he's a very significant person. Where's the John Mallinckrodt? Oh, here we go. That's the John Mallinckrodt Mansion. And what we have here. Okay, so not every mansion here been demolished in the late 40 and early 50. Some of them had been demolished way long before that. Just like this one at the Vandeventer Avenue is it been raised in 1937, which is Charles Bailey Mansion. Okay, and of course Henry Pierce Mansion at number 40. He's an oil magnate of the Pierce Walter Oil Company that bought out by Standard Oil. It's been raised in either 1938 or 1936, I'm not sure. And number 40 Vandeventer Place is considered to be one of the largest and grandest and the most expensive to build. Okay, where is Pierce Mansion? That's the Pierce Mansion right there. Okay, I have some other picture on it too. So, but yeah, you can see that back then is Richardsonian Romanesque architecture is very popular. Most people, rich people who have money to build their mansion, would choose to have the mansion built in this style. Many of them. Okay. And in Vandeventer Place, many mansion is built in such fashion. Okay. And another one is number 51 on the west side of the Spring Avenue is number 51 John Davis Mansion. This mansion is that John Davis Mansion at number 51. The iconic tower here. I'm not sure how many sides it is, either 12 or 14. Sorry for the poor quality picture, but that's the best I can do right now. Too bad it's been destroyed to build the detention home. In my personal opinions, the city of St. Louis at that time have many other choice, many other choice of site to build the hospital and the detention home. But why have to choose this particular plot? and they can say that we might say that this is the perfect spot. The land, the plot is straight. But then again, if you go further north of North Grand, there's many just like this, and with less significant homes. Okay, so that's a loss, architectural loss to our nation. So we got Savoy, as mentioned, is 67. What it looks like. 67. Savoy, where is it? Savoy is 67. Vandeventer Place. I probably didn't print it out yet, but it's pretty big. I remember it was pretty big there. So, and one of them had been raised in as early as 1902. This one at the number 43, Edward Wickham Mansion, had been raised in 1902 for some reason. And okay, so many plot. It's let's say just for example, number 80, William Tyler. The family bought the lot number 79 and 81, so his property would enclose these two of these side lot. So many blank that we seen here is not necessary being the house standing there. It's probably some of them have been bought by the one of the mansion right next to it to enlarge the property, make it bigger, make it wider. So too bad I cannot find some of this mansion at the beginning here, but yep. So let's see what this is. Dexter Stephanie at number 72. And it looked like a church, in my opinion. Very high, steep up spire there. And Watson Farr, probably number 17, not sure. This is pretty much typical of St. Louis old house from that period. Okay, and number 56, Horacio David. Yeah, pretty much typical there. Who's Crawford at number 37? It's almost like a lamp mansion because it's on the front facade. It's a concrete pave instead of showing a brick. Okay. Number 79, Thomas Netheringhouse. That's a big house, isn't it? Oh my goodness. That's another kind of a Romanesque architecture. You can see Romanesque architecture is a round, folded the open doorway, and the window had this right on the top. Okay, that's I think that's the second mansion to be built, which is number 7, Charles Peck Mansion. Okay, on the corner of Grand, so that's Peck Mansion. Okay, that's the fountain, iconic fountain. And 17, John Scudder, pretty typical. David Walker at number 53, pretty much typical. And Silas Bent, number 48. All these people, or the name that I said here, who built this mansion, they are prominent figure in St. Louis, either in politics or in economically, like being super rich. And number 87, Charles Bailey, which is that one on the corner here. raised in 1937. So you can tell that Vandeventer Place start to decline in like late 30s, start to decline already because the streetcar and smoke and coal dust engulf the city. So most of the mansion owners just fled the city and move out to the either Ladue or Clayton or Westmoreland, Portland Place. So this is being destroyed way earlier. Okay, and you can tell that the roof caved in like that, the window is gone. So if they can let, if the prominent private place can let this kind of thing happen, this kind of thing can happen during the late 30s. That means the whole neighborhood is in decline already. So, and unlike Westmoreland and Portland Place, still hold its integrity. Okay, James Sylvester at number 55. And the number 30 belonged to someone, I don't know. R.C. Karen, Richard Cairns. He owned many establishment. If you do all this name, if we do some research on all this name, we can find out who are they, who is he. And Anthony Hitchcock at number 6, British playing. And Drummond at number 35. That's a big mansion, and you can see that many. When I make this map, I look at the picture, I look at the old photograph, and I not only look at the mansion itself, I look at the mansion next to it, and then I compare and then put it all together. Just like number 35, H. Drummond, right next to the number 33, Thomas Howard. You can see that if you look at here, this is exactly how they are. You can see that. You can see that roof right there. There it is, roof right there. And it's a stone house. Okay. There's a chimney there. Got the same chimney right there. So right, they are neighbor. They are neighbor. Okay. And what's this? Edmund Wickham. Samuel Cole, number 11. Where is it? Number 11 is the second house on the north side. Okay, being the third house to build there. Okay, Charles Clark at number 41. Number 41, that's Charles Clark Mansion on the north side. Okay, so on the Vandeventer Place, just like any other St. Louis neighborhood at that time, the odd number is on the right side, and the even number on the left side. Okay, John Davis. Holy mackerel! That's a beautiful place. Otto Mercerman is number 71. 49. Isaac Morton. That's a big house, isn't it? Big house. Okay. And this one, John Orick at number 25. Victorian, typical Victorian architecture. And Otto Mercerman, did we get that? Yeah, the same one. I put the same picture. Okay, let's put it the other way. Okay, and who is this? Number 63, Smith Galt. Yeah, pretty typical. Okay, 49, Isaac Morton. George Barnard at number 47. Yeah, 47, where is it? On eastern half. The last house on the eastern half. That one. You see this right here? The space right here would be Spring Avenue right here. Spring Avenue would be right there because he's on the corner of Spring in the Vandeventer Place. Edward Martin Clark, Henry Pierce. I do some research on the Henry Clay Pierce mansion. Man, he's a gigantic place. Okay, I even have some picture on the wall. On the wall here. Where is it? Henry Pierce mansion. And I do some research on the old newspaper. He even have a okay. Let's look at the Henry Pierce mansion, number 40, on the south side, on the eastern half of the south side of the Vandeventer Place. Here's the Pierce mansion. I heard, and that's a small street right here underneath the Vandeventer Place called Enright Avenue. This is Enright Avenue, and they said that his house is so big he have to have another small house across the street. It's like a furnace house to build to supply heat to the main house. So he would have a coal-fired furnace house or servant house across the street and run the pipe underneath the Enright Avenue to supply the main house. Now that is a big house. And Byron Hobart. Okay, that's pretty much that's the pretty much I can find right now. And let's go back to the Henry Pierce mansion a little bit more. It's sad that at the end they have to raise the mansion, and just for the fraction of the cost to be built. I heard that the mansion was built in the late 1800 for $800,000, equivalent for many million of today's money, and just sell for the fraction of the price. But then again, if it's not been raised because of nobody buying it in 1938 or 1936, it will eventually be raised, being demolished anyway, of John Cochrane's hospital gonna be built there. The city gonna buy it out and destroy every single mansion there, the remaining mansion there. I heard that when they raised the first the eastern half to build a hospital, and some of the people here trying to dwell to the mansion, and but then again, that's not success, because the city decided that on the western half it's going to be a juvenile detention home. So yep. So I have fulfilled my commitment that I always want to do this for a long time, but I don't have time to do so, to gather all the information of his mansion, and hopefully someone in St. Louis, Missouri, that they're interested in a Vandeventer Place like me will enjoy this. Okay. Then again, like I said earlier, this is not 100% accurate, but close to being accurate as much as possible. Well, thank you very much. I appreciate you watching. And if you have any comment about the fact, or you want to correct something here, just leave the comment in the comment section for me. Thank you very much, and stay safe.